Thank God for so much. And peace and blessings to the YouTube family, brothers and sisters in Christ. Just wanted to come back and do this video, part 2, on are you preaching to me or are you preaching at me? And Hiding Cliff did a video called Watch What You Say in the Pulpit. Watch Your Mouth. And this is what I wanted to talk about. This is why I want to do a whole nother video on this, because you got to put people in check. And I mean this in a good way. And I know somebody ain't going to agree with me, because I'm talking about these pastors. Best believe JT do it all the time. I don't care who you are, you bishop, apostle, evangelist, prophet. I don't care what your title is. If you're wrong, you're wrong. See, if we would do what the Bible tells us to do, when Paul told us how to be in the churches, when you got a problem, you go to that individual. But the problem is, there's too many quiet Christians. You go to that individual, and then you go, if that don't work, you try to win your brother back. If that don't work, winning your brother back, then you go get 2 or 3 others as a witness. And if that don't work, hey, then you bring it in front of the church. And if that don't work, treat them like a pageant or a tax collector. That's what the scriptures say. This is how we supposed to be. If we got somebody, a problem with somebody in church, you go to that individual. I don't care if it's pastor on down, JT coming to you. Because if people had a problem with me, I want them to come directly to me. See, I can't bite my tongue, and I tell folks in a minute, you're wrong, you're out of order. I done checked so many pastors, I done checked so many prophets, and I mean this in a good way. Don't come up to me out of order, because I'm not coming up to you out of order. I want you to treat me with the same respect as I treat you. And like I was saying in this video, the problem is we got too many quiet Christians. Because if somebody do something to offend you, you need to go to that person and get it right, instead of going around to the next person saying this and saying that. I don't care if you're in the pulpit. I done pulled so many preachers to the side of the church. I just had to do this the other day. Preacher was so out of order in the pulpit. So out of order. Folks, and Hiding Cliff made a great point. When you do this to people, they don't even come back to church. They don't want no part of your church, and they can't stand Christians. See, this is why it makes it look so bad for the good Christians, man. I hate this. I'm like you, Hiding Cliff. I hate it with a passion, man, because this is not the way Christ was. You don't condemn nobody, no pulpit. You ain't got no business condemning nobody, no way. No way. Like you all of that. And it's so sad that people are they always putting these pastors on the pedestal. I know a lot of churches that done split up and started another church just because of this reason. I told you I had earrings when I first started becoming a minister of music, and the pastor told me I was going to hell. And then he told me I was gay. And then he told me you can't wear these earrings in my church. And I said to myself, I wonder how many people he done told that. That's why these churches got about 10 members in there. 15, 20 members. Not all of them. Some of them starting off and they are real. But the majority of these churches, man, these little bitty churches, they can't get nobody in there because they keep judging everybody. So what if you got earrings, tattoos? Let them people come into church like they are. Damn, do you think Jesus would have been condemning folks like that? When he came down here, what did God say? I sent my son not to condemn the world, but through him the world could be saved. And we can't reach nobody because we too busy judging them. Go to that individual. I'm telling you, young brothers, if you got a problem, the older people, if you got a problem with your pastor, go to your pastor. Stop all this being quiet. Because I'm going to tell you something about a mess. The longer you let it go on, the more and more it pile up. And then when it comes to a head, you don't even want to see it coming because it's going to be so out of order. That's why I tell any choir member, if you got a problem with me, come to me. Don't go behind my back. See, I don't go behind people's back. That's childish. That's childish. And it's sad that these so-called people calling themselves man of God, getting in the pulpit and using the pulpit for judgment day. And then want to preach on people when they leave the church. Like they left for all bad reasons. See, I tell people, it's good reasons why people leave the church, and then there's bad reasons why people leave. And the pulpit is this is why I don't care nothing about a pulpit, man. Big bro, I don't care nothing about a pulpit, man. I don't. That's why I say this religion, this tradition. If you got a problem with somebody, I'm going to tell you something. Let me would have been in that church. And that pastor, see, I done had pastors front me out in front of the whole congregation. You best to believe it wasn't no pretty sight after church was over because I did it the right way. I won't front nobody out in church. But I will wait till after church and go to that individual and say, what is your problem with me? Yeah, I'll make a prophet mad. I'll make a preacher mad. They know not to come my way with that BS. See, it's time out for all this shucking and jiving. It's time out for people running over people. You got to have a backbone. When you look at Jesus, look how Jesus checked them hypocrites, them Pharisees, them scribes. Look at how he checked them all the time. That's what these church folks remind you of in the Bible. The Pharisees, the religious folks. God didn't care nothing about how a building look. Good God Almighty. He don't care nothing about who driving the fastest car. He don't care who got the biggest house. He don't care how big your church is. This soul right here is more important than all of this stuff that they trying to, oh man, this religious stuff. Crap, that's what it is, man. Man-made laws for their way of functioning in their church. Let me be in one of these churches and not get called out. I'm telling you. Preacher gonna feel the wrath from me out the church. Oh yeah. I don't care who you are. I don't have nothing against T.D. Jakes, but if T.D. Jakes fronted me out in this church, best believe Jakes would have heard from me at the end of the service. And I would have did it in a good way. I don't have nothing against T.D. Jakes. Just using him for an example. I love him. I love everybody. But if you front, I tell people, you don't want to be fronted out, don't front people out. But me, I know how to handle it. I've been in church too long not to know how to handle situations like this. That's why I tell minister of music, don't let your choir members run over you. Everybody want to be the minister of music. You got to stand boldly. All of this, man, condemning people in the church. And people get mad when I talk about preachers doing this and doing that because people only want to hear the good about everything. See, God can tell me to just tell the good. That's why I'm doing these videos. I got a question about doing these videos. I'm going to do it if it can help somebody. Don't let nobody run over you. Stand as a man of God. Christ didn't let nobody run over him. Yeah, he got put on the cross, but he did that for our good. But best believe he wasn't no punk. Oh, man. That's why I say he checked them Pharisees, them hypocrites. And best believe he could have destroyed anybody at the drop of a hat. That's why I say when you look at before Christ came, look at how cold-blooded God was in that Old Testament. You better look at that Old Testament and look at how God was destroying. He told us, my people will be destroyed for the lack of knowledge. We got to quit letting folks run over us in these churches. Pastors on down. I'm talking to these pastors right now. If you doing it, see, this is the problem. Everybody want to make these pastors higher than God. All of this praising these men. I don't give a damn what your title is. That's me. That's why I tell people, you ain't got to call me minister of music. You can call me JT. You can call me by my name, Jerome. I ain't stuck on minister of music. See, them titles is just going to folks' head, man. God is not a respected person. He is not a respected person. I don't care about titles. You can yell, boy, I'm going to tell you something. I done seen some stuff, y'all. I done been in some churches where the preacher went bad on the musicians, and I done seen musicians pack up in the middle of the sermon and leave. And ain't nobody left to play no music when it's time. When people get in them chairs, all the musicians left. I ain't going to reveal no name. Hey, you better watch your mouth in that pulpit. You better watch your mouth. It ain't just, I'm not saying just the pulpit either. Minister of music, we have to watch our mouth. Because it's easy to snap. Anytime you in any kind of leadership position, you need to watch your mouth. And quit trying to condemn people. See, the problem is we let our personal opinions, feelings take over. You got to set that stuff aside. When you come to the house of God, you come to the house in spirit and truth. Hey, that's the only way to come in there. And to the unbelievers, let them come in there as they are. You know how to come in there spirit and truth. But people that's lost in the word, they don't know how to come in the church in spirit and truth. But best believe they coming in there and they coming in there to try to get saved. And you will never reach them by doing all this stupid, ignorant stuff that you are doing from the pulpit, from the corner. I done seen Sunday schools get destroyed behind stupid stuff like this. Too many pastors are too high on themselves. But like I say before I get out of here, let me say this. Don't make God expose on you and pull that cover off of you in front of everybody, because God sure can do it. And God bless.